Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 17th of August 2022. And to be honest, the market does look pretty much the same. As a matter of fact, it has dipped a little bit since the last 24 hours, which is really strange considering the fact that this is the first and the second working day in most parts of the world. I was honestly expecting the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum to do much better. But nonetheless, let's discuss what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Alex Mashinsky. There's quite a lot of headlines in the cryptocurrency world that talks about how Alex Mashinsky's trading strategies that he did a couple of months before the actual bankruptcy of Celsius Network took place. What I do want to point out is that when things go wrong, it's so much easier to blame Alex Mashinsky. When things were going right for Celsius Network, people were praising Alex Mashinsky, so we always need to keep that thing in mind. And one thing really daunting in the cryptocurrency space, especially in crypto Twitter, is that people can be really wild sometimes. Even if you look at the whole Terra Luna situation, when Dogecoin did actually buy a lot of Bitcoin, even the Bitcoin maximalists started to praise Dogecoin and they were praising the whole Terra Luna project. Ever since the Terra Luna project collapsed, everyone started trash talking Dogecoin. People started saying that it's a complete scam. He also got physical threats as well. So this is something we need to be aware about, especially in the cryptocurrency space. And in today's episode, we're also going to be very briefly looking at Ethereum proof of stake. And Coinbase has just put out a blog where they have mentioned that they are briefly pausing Ethereum and ERC token deposits and withdrawal. This is just a precautionary measure, and I'm pretty much sure that many other cryptocurrencies will be doing the same thing. What I would recommend you guys to do is, CoinShares has a blog on Medium, and there is a guy called Mark Arjun. I'm not sure if he's from India or not, but he writes some of the most brilliant articles so far as the Ethereum merge is concerned. So I'd recommend you guys to go ahead and read through it. He's written another one on the 8th of this month, really short and sweet and simple. And we'll also discuss if there are a couple of forks on Ethereum. In the last week's episode, we discussed that there is a possibility of 3 different forks, and one of the fork will continue to have Ethereum proof of work, and one of the cryptocurrency exchange from Singapore called BitTrue is actually willing to support Ethereum proof of work. And as a matter of fact, even Binance is not ruling out the option to support the Ethereum proof of work after the merge date kicks in. In today's episode, we also have 2 news regarding law and order and cryptocurrencies, and to be honest, both of the news is something which I agree to. The first one is by Federal Reserve Board. So what they've done is they've published an open letter which is directing the Fed supervised bank to have a checklist on few things. So we'll be discussing that. And the second news is about SEC, that is the Security Exchange Commission, and they have filed a complaint against Dragon Chain. And if you actually read through the filings directly from first source, I think you would agree to SEC, and you need to understand what the Howey test is. And looks like, based on the information and based on the filing, Dragon Chain has clearly broken the Howey test. So they definitely seem to be a security. So we'll very briefly talk about that. And finally, we have some drama so far as Bored Ape Yacht Club is concerned, and it has to do with collectors and enthusiasts. And what has happened is that the group Anonymous, they have posted a very cryptic message on YouTube. So we'll discuss what that message is all about. And what do you guys think? Do Anonymous, do they actually do something about it? Or do they just put up videos? Personally, I don't think so much has happened by the Anonymous group, but we'll very briefly talk about it. And I also have a few fun questions so far as the crypto market is concerned. Something to do with meme coins, some questions to do with stable coins, and the final question which is slowly gaining momentum, that is if Ethereum flips Bitcoin. And regarding UAE, I have 2 news. And the first news is about an event that takes place regarding Bitcoin from the 26th to the 9th of September. So essentially, it is a Bitcoin beginner's guide. And I do that on the 26th of August, 2nd of September, and 9th of September. And the second news is about an Ethereum beginner's guide. That is a one-off event on the 26th of August. And these events are completely free, of course, so you're more than welcome to attend it without any technical expertise. So welcome everyone, it's Atim here in Dubai and you're listening to Crypto and Coffee a Day, where we cover some top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. How this series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. This is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. And every Fridays, we have an episode called Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse, so please check out those episodes as well. The format for Metaverse Everything podcast is completely different, and what I tend to do is I publish a daily, weekly report via my LinkedIn profile. So follow me on my LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn profile is in the show notes below. Or you can also go to the Blockchain DXB website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and search for the blogs under the crypto blog section. Or you can also go to the Medium website and just type in Blockchain DXB. So let's kickstart today's episode. Now today is the 17th of August, and to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that the market hasn't crossed the $1.20 trillion mark. The global crypto market as of today is $1.14 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.78%. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is also down to $66.32 billion. So since the last 24 hours, it is down by 14.32%. The total volume in DeFi is down to $5.31 billion, and DeFi accounts for 8.01% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. The volume of stablecoins is once again daunting. It is currently at $61.17 billion, and stablecoin accounts for 92.24% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And guys, I've been saying this at least for the past 3 months or so. Not only is the volume of stablecoins low, it also accounts for 92% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and its numbers like this makes a perfect use case for central bank digital currencies to push the narrative of central bank digital currencies. I really am hoping that the numbers drastically change. I would really like to see the numbers of other cryptocurrencies and even DeFi taking over stable coins. But let's wait and see how the second half of this year turns out to be. Now, the narrative which is slowly building in the Bitcoin and in the Ethereum community is, does Ethereum flip Bitcoin? So let's look at 3 metrics, that is market share, 24-hour volume, and the dominance. Bitcoin's market share has gone down by $2 billion, and it is currently at $457 billion, and it's gone down by $2 billion since the last 24 hours. Ethereum's market share has also gone down, and it is currently at $228 billion. So right now, as of today, Ethereum's market share is a little below 50% of that of Bitcoin. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum both have gone down. Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $28.6 billion, whereas Ethereum's is at $16.0 billion. And the dominance of Bitcoin is 40.06%, and Ethereum's dominance is 20.10%. And guys, one thing which I talked about in yesterday's podcast is that Glassnode and CoinShares, they tend to publish an insight and weekly blog, and usually they always have information about Ethereum. For some odd strange reason, they did not have information for Ethereum, which I found it extremely strange. So what I did on LinkedIn, I sent a message to James Butterfield, who writes the blog for CoinShares, and he actually did reply and said that the volume on Ethereum is relatively low, and it started off great, but towards the end of the week, the outflows exceeded that of the inflows. But again, I really am not sure why those numbers were not mentioned in the blog as well as in the insights by Glassnode. So again, I'm not saying that there is any conspiracy or anything, but just extremely strange. Now let's look at the price of the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently at $23,894, and since the last 24 hours it is down by 0.86%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 2.74%. Ethereum is currently at $1,872, and since the last 24 hours it is down by 2%, but since the last 7 days it is up by 9.45%. And one thing which I mentioned a couple of days ago, that the last 7 or 10 days has been really great for Ethereum. So I really am not sure why CoinShares and Glassnodes, both of them did not mention anything about Ethereum. Extremely, extremely strange. Binance Coin is currently at $315. So Binance Coin since the last 24 hours is down to 1.32%, and since the last 7 days it is down by 2.83%. So I'd like to start today's episode going back to the Bitcoin white paper. Now guys, if you read through the second line of Bitcoin white paper, it says the main benefits are lost if a third party is still required to prevent double spending. Now I'm hoping by this point of time you actually do know what double spending is. So Bitcoin essentially solved the double spending problem by cryptography, hashing algorithm and mathematics, and protocols that existed before Bitcoin did have a problem with double spending. Andreas Antonopoulos always prophesizes, not your keys, not your crypto. That is such a basic concept, but over a decade, people still don't understand the importance of not your keys, not your crypto, and the meaning of double spending. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is mostly to do with Celsius Network. Now, Celsius is more of a lending service and not necessarily a cryptocurrency exchange, but they have completely gone bankrupt. The news that is circulating in the cryptocurrency world is that Alex Mashinsky took control of Celsius's trading strategy months before bankruptcy. Now, Finance Magnets has written an article which talks about how Celsius Network's CEO Alex Mashinsky made the decision not to sell certain Grayscale Bitcoin trusts, and he made this decision on his own despite getting advice from other people. Now again guys, there are two ways of looking at it. When things go right, people would be praising Alex Mashinsky or absolutely anyone, even Dokon for that matter. When things go wrong is when people start pointing at things. Personally, I do sympathize with Alex Mashinsky because I've been following him even before he started Celsius Network. Ivan on Tech, one of the OGs so far as YouTube is concerned, did have Alex Mashinsky even before he started Celsius Network. And Alex Mashinsky was one of the founders who created Voice over the Internet Protocol. So the reason why we have Skype, the reason why we have Zoom is possibly due to Alex Mashinsky. There were also a couple of videos going back to 2017 and 18 where he was debating with Dr. Doom, that is Dr. Nouriel Roubini, on blockchain and cryptography and cryptocurrencies. That being said, what he has done for Celsius Network is definitely wrong. It does not mean that because he's created Voice over the Internet Protocol, he has been an advocate for cryptocurrency, he needs to be given a pass. That is not what I'm saying. But we need to take into consideration everything that is going on so far as Alex Mashinsky is concerned, Celsius Network is concerned, even with reference to Dokon. Now, Dokon did have an interview which is available on YouTube where he goes ahead and explains what actually happened with Terra Luna, and he's kind of hinting towards some of the executives, and it looks like an internal player who might be responsible for the Terra Luna collapse. So I won't go into the detail of that now, but maybe in one of the episodes in next week, I'll probably talk more about it. Let's move on to the big news that is going on in the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space, that is the Ethereum proof of work. Now, as Ethereum moves to consensus layer, which is formerly called as Ethereum 2.0, Coinbase has put up a blog, and the blog actually says that they will briefly pause Ethereum and ERC token deposits and withdrawals as a precautionary measure, and they have also requested the members to be on high alert for scams that are related to Ethereum 2.0. Brilliant blog post. I'm pretty much sure that other cryptocurrency exchanges will be doing the same thing. So in case if your cryptocurrency exchange temporarily pauses deposits on withdrawals for Ethereum and ERC20 token, it seems perfectly fine. Now what I would recommend you guys to do is, in case if you do want to find out more information about the merge, Mark Archon, who I believe works for CoinShares, has put up a blog on Medium, and I'm not sure if this is his second or third blog, because in total he has written 25 blogs. I'm not sure how many of them are related to the Ethereum merge. I've just read 2 of them, and both of them seem to be absolutely fantastic. He talks about the Ethereum merge updates, so I would really recommend you guys to go ahead and read through it so you get a detailed understanding of what it is. Now what I want to do is, I want to release 4 episodes with someone else where I discuss if Ethereum flips Bitcoin. So I want to look at the market share, I want to look at the 24-hour trading volume, I want to look at the inflow and outflows for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then I want someone else, someone who's a technical expert to explain what the Ethereum merge is and how does it impact not just Ethereum but also Bitcoin and maybe other protocols as well. So if you know of any technical person who knows everything about the merge date, please ask them to drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. And last week, I also talked about Laura Shin's episode called Unchained Podcast, where she invited a guest called Kevin Zoom from Gallius Capital, and he's known for speaking things to existence. He has put up a couple of tweets regarding the merge date. Now, to be honest, I couldn't understand what the tweet is all about. I'm not sure if he's backing down on one of the forks of Ethereum. In that podcast, he was talking about how he particularly is in favor of the Ethereum proof of work to continue because the miners have invested quite a lot of money. The recent tweet, to be honest, I really could not understand. So in case if you can explain to me what his recent tweet that he put out less than 24 hours ago, I'd really appreciate it. In that tweet, he actually did expect to have 3 more forks of Ethereum, and with 3 more forks, it would be really interesting to see how does it impact the price of Ethereum. Now, speaking of 3 more forks of Ethereum, one of the fork that is Ethereum proof of work is gaining a lot of momentum, and Decrypt has published an article that states that a Singapore-based cryptocurrency exchange called Bitrue is joining a growing list of exchanges that will list Ethereum proof of work, also called as ETHW, and associated tokens and contracts. Definitely worth reading through that article. In one of the previous articles, I believe they published it on the 10th or 12th, they also mentioned that Binance is not ruling out the option to support the Ethereum proof of work fork. So it could be possible that after the merge date, which happens on the 15th of September, it is possible that we might be having 3 different forks of Ethereum. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this thing plays out. Now let's move on to news regarding law and cryptocurrencies. A lot of people in the cryptocurrency space are against laws. My recommendation is read through the official article first, then make up your own decision. What happens is we usually tend to look up a post via LinkedIn and we jump on the bandwagon that regulations and law do not have a place in cryptocurrencies. We watch YouTube videos trashing laws, trashing politicians. My recommendation is read through the official document. And if you read through the official document, it is black and white. Federal Reserve Board has published an open letter directing the Fed supervised bank to make sure they check first that any crypto-related activities they want to undertake are legally allowed. The official article is in the Federal Reserve Board website. This particular letter only applies to all banking organizations supervised by the Federal Reserve, including those with $10 billion or less in consolidated assets. So the supervised banking associations must ensure legal permissibility and notification of proposed activities to lead supervisory point of contact. And the letter is very straightforward. It is literally just a page long. And what happens is YouTube price influencers, they don't read through the article and they directly start trashing Federal Reserve Board. Again, read through the article. It's pretty basic and simple. On the second news is about SEC Exchange. The Security Exchange Commission has filed a complaint against an open source hybrid blockchain platform called Dragon Chain. I am not sure if Dragon Chain at one point of time was associated with Walt Disney. SEC has filed a complaint for unregistered initial coin offering filings, and looks like Dragon Chain has definitely broken the Harvey test. So if you read through the filing, it clearly states that Dragon Chain's marketing material explicitly states that the value of token would increase as adoption of its new technology grew. This is a big no. If you do that, you're clearly a security. So they do have some detailed and clear information. They also mentioned that some of the Twitter profiles did actually retweet posts that has to do with offering investment advice. So again, very crystal clear and basic information, and looks like Dragon Chain will be fined heavily for this. Now moving on to next news, and this is to do with Bored Ape Yacht Club collectors and enthusiasts. So the anonymous group, which is notoriously known for putting up videos, they have a very cryptic message regarding the Bored Ape Yacht Club collectors and enthusiasts. Now the video is just over 2 hours long. Now what that says is that in the NFTs, there are some cryptic messages which is more to do with a couple of wrongdoings in the society, such as pedophilia, a lot of drugs and Nazi symbols and everything. And they're going to be investigating the creators and the collectors and enthusiasts of Bored Ape Yacht Club. And historically, I'm not a fan of anonymous group. I don't think so they have done anything in this society. But if you actually watch through that video, it does look kind of like a movie scene. I really am not sure if this has impacted the price of any of the NFTs, but really fun bit. And I also like to ask a few fun crypto-related questions in today's podcast. I have 3 of them. The first one is, according to you guys, who do you think wins the meme coin war between Dogecoin and Shiba Inu coin? The second question is, who wins the stable coin war? Is it USDT by Tether, or is it USDC by Circle and Coinbase? And the final third question is, does Ethereum flip Bitcoin? And if it does it flip in market share or price, or market share and price? So if you do have any comments or suggestions, mention them in the show notes below. So let's move on to 2 news from UAE. The first one is about an event that takes place from the 26th of August till the 9th of September. And this is a Bitcoin beginner's guide. And it is a 3-part series. The first one is on the 26th of August. Second is on the 2nd of September. And the final one is on the 9th of September. All of these sessions start at 11 a.m. Gulf Standard Time and end at 12 or 12:30 Gulf Standard Time. Now the initiative is to train, educate and consult the people of Dubai on Bitcoin and blockchain technology purely in line with Dubai blockchain strategy. Now the link for the event can be found on eventbrite.com, or you can also go to my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. Or guys, if you want to attend it, just drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now what I'll do is I'll quickly run through the structure of what I'm going to be talking about on the 26th of August, on the 2nd of September, and on the 9th of September. On the 26th of August, I'll be talking about the history of Bitcoin, the projects before Bitcoin, the prior problems with cryptocurrencies, the double spend problem, what was the double spend problem, and who is Satoshi Nakamoto and why it matters, and why Satoshi Nakamoto does not matter. And on the 26th, I'll also talk about how Bitcoin actually works, the whole blockchain technology. I'll explore what goes in a block and what goes in a chain. On the second session, which is on the 2nd of September, I'm going to be talking at a very basic level on what is BFT, that is Byzantine Fault Tolerance. We will do a general discussion on the Bitcoin white paper. We will look at what is private key, what is public key, and what is SHA-256, that is Secure Hashing Algorithm 256. And the biggest innovation of Bitcoin is a combination of hashing algorithm, mathematics, and cryptography. Now, at this point of time, you don't need to be worried too much. The sessions will be at a very basic and beginner level, so you don't need absolutely any technical expertise. On the 2nd of September, I'll also talk about how Bitcoin mining works, the halving of Bitcoin, and the mining difficulty target explained. But don't worry guys, it's going to be at an absolutely basic and beginner level. Even a 5-year-old will be able to understand what I'm going to be talking about. And on the 9th of September, I'm going to be talking about the Bitcoin market share, and something which I talked about earlier. There is this talk about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. So we'll be going ahead and exploring what the Bitcoin market share is. We'll also try to make a quick comparison if Bitcoin will sustain during the merge period, or will Ethereum flip Bitcoin maybe during the merge period, or maybe a couple of months or years from now. We'll also talk about the different forks of Bitcoin. We will also touch base on the Bitcoin Lightning Network and Liquid Network. And a few days ago, when I posted on LinkedIn, the topic was Lightning Network, not blockchain. That got a lot of views and it got a lot of likes as well. So I'll go ahead and explain what the Lightning Network is. We'll also talk about the different types of Bitcoin. That is Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Core, quite a lot. Very basic level. We'll also look at the pillars of Bitcoin and open blockchain, which is popularized by Andreas Antonopoulos. We'll make a quick comparison between open blockchain versus private blockchain, and we'll also discuss how to buy and sell your Bitcoin or hodl your Bitcoin, but I'll not be giving any investment advice. And finally, we'll also be looking at the current and the future state of Bitcoin. The second news is also a session, but this is on Ethereum, and this takes place on the 26th of August from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. So the session is called as Ethereum Beginner's Guide. Once again, This is done in line with Dubai Blockchain Strategy, an initiative to train, educate, and consult the people on blockchain technology. And once again, guys, you can go to eventbrite.com, type in blockchaindxp.com, or you can go to my website, blockchaindxp.com, or drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. This is just a one-off session, and I'll be talking about what is Ethereum, the history of Ethereum, the projects before Ethereum, the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we'll also try to have a debate if Ethereum would actually flip Bitcoin. We will look at the challenges faced by Ethereum, the Ethereum London hard fork, which I personally think was, if not one of the most brilliant things to happen in Ethereum. We'll also discuss the 5 upcoming stages in Ethereum, that is the merge, the surge, the verge, the purge, the splurge, and the merge has a date which is on the 19th of September. So we'll talk about that at a very basic and beginner level. And in case if you want to get involved in Ethereum, what are the steps that you need to take, how you can build on Ethereum, and what are the competitors of Ethereum. Now, throughout history, there have been numerous Ethereum killers, such as EOS, Solana, Algorand, Avalanche, so we'll be discussing that as well. And we'll also finally discuss the current and the future state of Ethereum. These sessions are going to be completely free and at a very basic level, so no technical expertise is needed. But once again, guys, I will not be giving any financial advice. And in case you guys do have any feedback or suggestions, or want to even talk about it, you're more than welcome to drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. So that's all for today, guys, from the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXP. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxp.com. Also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this, please follow this podcast, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next 30 minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other 2 news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East from the cryptocurrency world. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Manuel who asks, what are the learning resources for Metaverse? Manuel, this is an absolutely brilliant question. What I would recommend you to do is, Manuel, there is an OG of Metaverse called as Matthew Ball. I really am not sure at this point of time how many podcasts he has done, but I would definitely recommend you to follow Matthew Ball, maybe in social media channels. As a matter of fact, Manuel, the question that you asked is absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to be doing is on this Friday's episode of Metaverse Everything, I'll put up a slide where I try to explain what are the learning resources for Metaverse. So thank you so much for this question, because I haven't really thought of it, and it is a brilliant question. But at the top of my head, Matthew Ball is one of the OGs of Metaverse, so any work related to him is something what I would recommend. As a matter of fact, he's also released a book recently. I believe it was in the month of July. So his book would provide a lot of information as far as Metaverse is concerned. I also interviewed the CEO of Royex Technology, and he sounded really brilliant and smart, and he knew what Metaverse is. He has written another book called as Metaverse, The Future is Here, and this is his 4th book. And the book is available on Amazon US and Amazon UAE as well. So I would definitely recommend you to go ahead and buy that book. And he does provide quite a lot of detailed information. And I did have an interview with him where he actually mentioned in which particular chapter that you need to focus on. So let's say if you're a business person, which chapter you need to focus on. If you're a completely newbie into the Metaverse, what areas to focus on, and he also emphasized the importance of conclusion in that chapter. So I would definitely recommend you to go and read through that. Personally, Manuel, for me, my biggest resource for learning about cryptocurrencies and metaverse is podcasts. Unfortunately, there are not many podcasts at this point of time covering metaverse. I would recommend my podcast called Metaverse Everything, where I talked about the Dubai metaverse strategy, and every Fridays, metaverse everything. What I tend to do is, I cover top farm news from Dubai, top farm news from the metaverse. So my podcast is also a good source, to be honest. And there are a couple of podcasts which I've noticed is they do mention metaverse, but when you actually listen to it, it's not necessarily to do with metaverse. It's more to do with gaming, and some of the podcasts, they have completely digressed from metaverse and gone back to cryptocurrencies. There are a couple of podcasts which I can think at back of my head is Outlier Ventures is one of a good one, but since the last 2 months or so, none of his podcasts have anything to do with metaverse. It's more to do with cryptocurrencies. Another one is Welcome to the Metaverse. That has quite a lot of information on metaverse. So what I'll do, Manuel, is on this Friday, on my LinkedIn profile, you can just get a slide where I'll share a lot of learning resources for metaverse. And Manuel, Dubai is, if not one of the best places so far as metaverse is concerned. So in the Dubai Metaverse Strategy podcast that I have, I talked about the Dubai Task Force. I talked about the higher committee which is started for the metaverse. I talked about the Dubai Metaverse Assembly and how there is an event taking place in September, which will be absolutely massive, not just for Dubai but for the entire cryptocurrency sector and the metaverse. So definitely keep an eye out for my episode on Friday. Alternatively, you can also just look at the slide via my LinkedIn profile or my website. So that's all for today, guys, on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and check out my other website, Area 2071, that talks everything about metaverse. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover job news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East from the cryptocurrency world. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.